All right, here we go. Got some gameplay to show off today with Red Blue Vivi, and this game got intense. It had everything from big swings traded back and forth, calculations, and a photo finish. Let's dive straight in. Speed is on 1.5x. Here's the deck list, by the way. And we are going against Purple Doflamingo, one of the strong leaders in OP14. We decided to keep our opening hand. We also decided to go first this matchup. And we go ahead and start our turn playing a Vivi Searcher. We do a top 5 search. We grab a 5-cost Vivi. That's going to allow us to chain out another 5-cost or less character. Right now we have our Tony Chopper in hand as a target for that. We pass the turn. Our opponent starts with a Dellinger on the board, 1-cost Dellinger. And a Sugar on the board. 1-cost Sugar, 1-cost Dellinger. They'll be able to redirect an attack into their Dellinger if they choose to this turn. We start with the 5k swing at their leader with our leader. 5 at 5. And our opponent does redirect that attack into their Dellinger, so they'll be able to ramp a Dawn, do a top 5 search. Looks like they grabbed a Virgo. We attach the rest of our Dawn to our Vivi, and we swing a second 5k swing at lead. Since their leader can only use leader ability once per turn, it is nice to be able to get multiple attacks if we can. Our opponent starts their next turn with a 4-cost Sugar. That's going to allow them to ramp a Dawn. They're up to 5 Dawn now. They go ahead and swing in 5k at our lead. We take that first attack. Very good. They pass the turn. 5 Dawn turn for us now. We start with a 2k swing with our Vivi at their Sugar, just trying to get their Searcher character off the board. And our opponent decides to protect the Sugar with a 2k counter. So we go ahead and play our 5-cost Vivi and chain out our 5-cost Nami. Activate Nami's effect to, first of all, give our leader negative 5,000 power and draw a card. And then we give their Sugar negative 1,000 power with our Nami. Yeah, so we activate leader ability. We give our Nami Rush. We give their Sugar negative 2,000 power. We swing in 7,000 at their Searcher. And our opponent goes ahead and redirects that attack into their life. So they take the life, but they protect their Searcher. Interesting choice for our Dofi opponent. Could be a strong defensive play as they build more resources in their hand with their Searcher. They go ahead and start with a Virgo on the board, 5-cost Virgo. That's going to protect their board from removal. They swing 5k at our leader. We go ahead and block out with our Vivi, and then use leader ability to ditch a card from hand, so our Vivi is not KO'd. Our opponent goes ahead and passes the turn. Now, real quick, just going to break down one thing. Since they now have that Virgo on the board, very strong play by our opponent to get that out early because it protects their board from board removal. So these Ben Beckhams in hand, we won't be able to use their on play to KO a character. We'll have to figure out how we use our 7 Dawn this turn. Let's keep going here. Okay. So it is our 7 Dawn turn. We do have another Vivi in hand, so we could chain out a couple more blockers. Part of our game plan with this Vivi deck is to get blockers on the board and then block their attacks, protecting our blockers with leader ability. Okay, and we start off with the swing with our Vivi into their Sugar, their Searcher Sugar. We did give it negative 1,000 power with our Nami, and the Sugar does get KO'd, so our opponent lets it go. We attach 2 Dawn to lead and swing 7k at lead, putting some pressure on our opponent now. They do have a lot of cards in hand, and they do counter out with those cards, so 2k and a 1k counter from hand. We have 5 Dawn left this turn. We go ahead and chain out our Vivi and our Tony Chopper. So we develop a couple more blockers on the board. We go ahead and pass the turn, leaving our Nami. Hold on, just going to break down one thing here. We did choose to leave our Nami standing. She does have a really strong ability to give an opponent's character negative 1,000 power. Their Virgo can give any one of our characters negative 2,000 power when they swing in for the turn. So we're just trying to be protective of our Nami, not leaving it too vulnerable. Here we go. Let's keep it going. So our opponent gets their 8-cost Doflamingo and their Monet on the board. So they chain out the Monet with Doflamingo's ability. They go ahead and swing 5k at lead, and we block out with our Tony Chopper. With 6k, that is a free block for us. If they swing with their Virgo now, we can utilize another blocker and then leader ability if we choose. They swing 7k with the Virgo. We're deciding here. We choose to block with our Vivi, and we do ditch one of our Ben Beckhams. It's going to be hard for us to use that character, so we ditch it from hand, protect our blocker. Our opponent passes the turn now. We go ahead and start by using Nami's ability to give a character negative 1,000 power. Virgo is down to 6,000 power. We attach 1 Don to our Nami and swing 8k at 6. We're trying to get this Virgo off the board. If we can KO the Virgo, get it off the board, then we can start utilizing our Ben Beckham and other removal plays we love to run in this VV deck to start clearing their board. Our opponent does counter out though. They protect the Virgo. And then we go ahead and develop a Shaka and Pell on the board. Utilizing leader ability, we give the Shaka and Pell Rush. We give the Virgo another negative 2,000 power. So now down to 4,000. We choose to swing in with our blocker Vivi. Just 4k at 4k. And we do get another card out of their hand. So they counter out with a 2k counter. We get that Usohachi out of hand. We still have our Shaka and Pell. This card just came out in EB04, by the way, and it's one of my favorite cards in the set. I just love the character Shaka and Pell so much. So glad we got to see them in a card together. The card does have double attack, which is really cool. We go ahead and swing 4k with our other blocker. So bit of a risky play swinging with both of our blockers. We're really trying to get this Virgo off the board. We swing 9k with our Shaka and Pell. I believe our opponent still has leader ability they can use if they choose to. But 9k coming in at the Virgo, really trying to get this guy off the board. And our opponent does redirect the attack. They choose to redirect it into their Monet. So they'll be able to ramp 2 more Dawn. They get to draw 2, trash 1, get another card in hand with that. Strong defensive play. They still have their Sugar on board too as another character to redirect and attack into. We pass the turn. They go ahead and start with their 10 cost Doflamingo straight to the board. They'll be able to freeze 3 of our characters or KO an 8 cost. They choose to freeze 3 of our characters. Our blockers frozen and our Nami and Vivi blocker are frozen. They swing in 5k at lead. We go ahead and counter out with the 1k. They go ahead and swing with the Virgo, 7k coming in at 5, and we go ahead and counter out of this attack as well. So our opponent choosing to swing into our life rather than swinging into our board, and they go ahead and just pass the turn. So they choose to leave their Dofi, their 8-cost Dofi standing, maybe fearing that we're going to be able to swing into it on our turn. They leave it standing. We start our turn activating Nami's ability to give their Virgo negative 1,000 power. We go ahead and play another Nami on the board. Utilize leader ability to give the Virgo negative 2,000 power, give our Nami rush, and hold on, a lot just happened there. Let's break this down. Okay, we had a Nami on the board that was frozen from their 10 cost Dofi ability. We utilized the Nami ability to give their Virgo negative 1,000 power, and then we played a second Nami to replace her, immediately activated her effect again to give the Virgo another negative 1,000 power. Then we activate our leader ability to give the Virgo another negative 2,000 power and give our Nami rush. So now we're swinging in 7k at their Virgo, which is negative 4,000. A lot of power manipulation with this VV deck. We'll see if our opponent is able to defend their Virgo. They redirect the attack into their Sugar. That allows them to play out another Sugar and ramp 1 Dawn. So they clear out of our first attack. We go ahead and attach some Dawn, 3 Dawn to our Vivi. We swing 7 at the Virgo, and that's going to land the KO. So our opponent does not have leader ability for the duration of this turn. We go ahead and swing in with our Shaka and Pell. We're swinging in with double attack, and we strike 2 lives out of our opponent with the Shaka and Pell. We go ahead and pass the turn, leaving 2 blockers standing. And our opponent starts off right away, getting another 8-cost Dofi on the board. They chain out a 5-cost Monet. That's going to allow them to ramp a Dawn. Our opponent now has 2 8-cost Dofis and a 10-cost Dofi on the board, as well as their Monet, as well as their Sugar, a target to redirect an attack into. They start off with a 6k swing with lead. They attach 1 Dawn, swing in at our leader. We counter out with 2 1ks, so we're down to 2 cards in hand, 2 bricks in hand. We'll see if they decide to swing into our life or into our characters. They decide to swing at our life, 9k. We take that life. We do draw into a Jozu, so 1k counter. Could be a useful board removal play. Then our opponent here, they go ahead and swing into our board now. They swing at our Vivi, the 5-cost, And we go ahead and let the Vivi go. We do not activate leader ability there. So hold on, let's break that down. Now we did have the option there to protect our Vivi with leader ability. We could have ditched one of our bricks from hand, probably our Cavendish. But by letting the Vivi get KO'd, we do clear a space for a new character, maybe our Shanks, possibly a Jozu, and we just keep our card resources in hand. So let's see how we go about this next turn. Okay, we start off with our Nami. We give their 8-cost Dofi, negative 1,000 power. And here we got to decide, are we swinging in at their board? Or are we swinging in at their life? Our opponent is down to only 1 life. They only have 2 cards in hand, but they do have leader ability, 2 Dons standing. We have a 10-cost Shanks in hand too, so we could play that to KO a 10-cost body. Got to decide what to do. But it looks like we may be getting aggressive here. We attach a Don, so we won't be using our Shanks. We still have our Jozu potentially, but we're doing some calculation. We start off swinging 5k at lead, and we're swinging with one of our blockers, so risky play, but we swing 5k at lead, and our opponent counters out. Looks like they're using a slow beam sword, so they get to rest our shotgun Pell. That may change how we go about this turn, but we go ahead and attach 3 Dawn to Tony Chopper, and we swing 7k at lead. Our opponent redirects that attack into their Monet, so they get to draw 2, trash 1. They also get to ramp 2 Dawn, but our opponent does not have leader ability anymore. We're calculating this out. We swung with both of our blockers, so we almost have no choice but to swing all out. Now, do we start with a 7k swing, or do we could go 9, we do, so we attach 4 Dawn to lead, we swing 9 at their leader, they take that life, our opponent with 3 cards left in hand, we swing with 9k with the Nami, 9 at 5, we're swinging for lethal, our opponent has a counter event, 3k, 1k counter, but not enough, red, blue, Vivi, with the red Nami swinging for lethal, getting the dub against purple, Doflamingo. What a game. GG's to our opponent, 1k counter away. Now, on that last turn, it still may have been a good idea to go with our 10-cost Shanks, try to control their board, and then leave our blockers standing. It's risky going against this Doflamingo, though, with all their powerful bodies. And if they did have another 10-cost Dofi, they could have played that to freeze our blockers. We have almost no counter in hand, so risky. But we have just enough power to get the win. And I got to take this frame off real quick and show off this chat because it got hype. It goes, GG, and our opponent goes by 1k, dude. So GG's to our opponent, a lot of fun. Red, blue, Vivi, having a lot of fun with this deck. Really looking forward to playing with this leader once EB03 comes out. But that's going to do it. We'll be back with another one. Peace.